Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. What does a father of 3 kids,
5 kids,
2 kids,
have to say about what's going on in the world today in parenting? We'll find out in
3, 2.
Kick It!
All right, welcome to another episode of Hardheaded. I'm your host, Matt Amos. With me, as always with me, how does Chet say it?
Shut your face.
Either way. With me, as always, Chet, Sears, Troy, Trussell. Today, we've got what's on Chet's mind. Always interesting to hear what he's got to say. We got the top 3 things destroying our kids that we allow to continue. And then Troy is going to lift us back up with a good word. So, Chet, kick it off.
We willingly bring extremely harmful things into our home, harmful to our kids into our home. And we need to stop it.
Well, I thought that was our top 3.
This is the generation of that. The negative impacts of children in our home include a variety of factors. Exposure to harmful online content. We are bringing in the ability for strangers to interact with our kids, and we don't know who those strangers are or what their intent is. But we're like, I trust my kid, so I'm going to give them access to all that stuff. Our kids are out of shape, sedentary lifestyles, mindless eating while engaged with screens. So not only are we bringing in harmful mental things, psychological things, harmful physical things, loss of social skills. We're not even teaching them social skills because they're all on their screens all the time. Their increased irritability. That's just Matt in general.
I was born that way.
Yeah. Just overall negative effects of physical health. No expectation that they're going to get out and just do stuff on their own, ride bikes, go play in the yard. Generally speaking, I know this is not everybody in every case. But definitely a lot of this stuff is driving a lack of self-esteem in our kids as well. So what should we do about it? Encourage physical activity, limit screen time, foster social skills, like do things where you would have your kids interact with other people, other adults. Monitor the online activity. Don't just limit screen time, but you need to be able to log in and see what your kids are doing. Follow through on that kind of stuff. Also, don't have a whole lot of junk food in your house. Just promote healthy eating habits. So you want a snack, get some fruit. Get a grape instead of a ding dong.
We got fruit. That's the one thing. One thing they can eat anytime they ask for food is fruit.
Yeah. Go have some fruit. What's their favorite fruit? Strawberries, bananas?
One likes grapes. One likes frozen grapes. All of them like oranges. A couple of them like apples. So we always keep those.
Yeah.
Bananas are kind of like in and out of season. Yeah.
The other thing that I think that what we're doing to harm our kids is travel ball.
Oh,
I'm gonna go there.
Amen.
I'm gonna go there.
Go there.
I'm going there.
And starting them playing at 3 and 4 years old.
Dude.
It's retarded.
So
The R word.
Jim Hamilton wrote this article back in 2016. It's actually a blog posted on the church that he goes to. And it's pretty interesting. And the title of the article is "Don't Play Travel Ball, Stay in the Rec League." And I'm not going to read this whole article to you, but he's got basically the numbers to some paragraphs here. Number 1, sports for kids should be play, not work. It's not a job. They shouldn't have to do it every day. They shouldn't have a schedule that they're going to have to adhere to every day. Practice this, practice that. And what we're seeing, and he gets into this as well, but 7-year-olds that have a 6-day-a-week routine.
It's madness.
For ball that they've got to keep up. And it's just crazy. And he talked about, as he was a kid, he was very athletic and took off to baseball and talked about just the grind on his body as a kid. His arm hurt all the time. He wasn't even a pitcher, but all the stuff, it was just too much. Wasn't neat. needed. And then he talked about one time that, even though he was very, very good, he wanted to go to summer camp 1 year, and he chose, his parents supported him, and he went to summer camp, and then they kicked him off the team because he wasn't going to be at a couple tournaments. And so you're putting that level of requirements on a kid, and they want to do one thing that's fun, and they get fired from their job, like of being on the travel team.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Number 2, your kid isn't going pro. Just face the facts. And I'm adding this, I don't think you should want your kid to be a pro athlete. You name, of all the pro athletes that how many of them are well balanced? Do you know what the divorce rate is in professional athletics in the U.S.?
Oh, it's probably really high.
Up to 80%.
In the percent, I don't know what the percentage is, but I know it's high, of professional football players that get out of the NFL broke.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's not like, I look at that. So we could say, oh, he played at the pinnacle of whatever. Yeah, you could be at the pinnacle of a lot of things that aren't sports, that don't put you in a position where you're going to be worse off as a human than that. Like, that's not ought to be, as a parent, that not ought to be our goal, is to put them in an environment where there's sex, drugs, rock and roll, all the weekend stuff. It's crazy.
Johnny
And
football.
There's so many people that come out of that, not better Johnny Manziel. It's not, I don't even think that should be our goal for our kids. I don't know anything about it, that the negatives far outweigh the positives of being a pro athlete. There's 3 studies that I read. It's between 60 and 80% divorce rate in professional athletics, and I think it's growing over time. Number 3, if your kid goes pro, rec ball is the likelier path. There are lots and lots of studies coming out now that talk about going with a solo sport as a kid and not being broad in a lot of different athletic events is detrimental to their ability
Skills.
to get better as an athlete. There are different mechanics, body motions. Playing football, you use different muscles than you do playing baseball. Rec ball does not help your kid go pro. It does not help them become a better, well-rounded athlete. But being a better, well-rounded athlete means you're going to be playing all kinds of sports throughout the year, different sports, typically in a rec league. Because if you try to do different travel ball, you're going to lead us to number 5. Your wallet can't afford travel ball in every sport. So you got to pick one and you stick with it. Way too expensive. All the hotels, all the this, all the that. Number 4, your family doesn't need travel ball. So I'm going backwards here. So your wallet, then your family. How many kids do you have? Can you do travel ball for all of them? If you do, you're going to split up your family, and your family doesn't need to be split up at that young. And my take on this as well is, you don't need to be putting your kid in the position where they're making decisions for everybody else in their family based on their schedule and all of that stuff. Number 6, you should be in church on Sunday.
I like it.
Number 7, we talked about this, is better to play more than one sport. Number 8, don't dilute the talent pool in the rec league. You're making it where it's not fun for the people that stay back, and in multiple sports. So you could have a stud athlete that's playing football, travel football, whatever, and they don't get an opportunity to play rec baseball because they're not allowed to, or they don't have the scheduled time to. And then we're seeing a mass migration away. So the other thing that this is really starting, and he touches on this, but a couple other articles I read talking about this, is it's becoming a class thing. You'll see that if you have money, you have the ability to play travel ball. And if you're playing travel ball with other affluent people and you don't have any, so you're out of church, you're doing your travel ball and you're doing your work stuff, you're only hanging out with people that are in your own financial class. You don't mix and mingle with other families. One of the things that I really enjoyed, especially with Stone's rec league football team, we got to know a lot of other families that we would cross paths with very rarely, sometimes in church. But it's not like they were going to be able to afford to do anything other than play rec and have a lot of fun doing it. So you're actually putting yourself in a higher class, higher echelon of people, and not having your kids aren't even getting exposure to different societal, variances throughout the neighborhood, throughout your side of town, and you're removing that opportunity from them. You get the silver spoon. They don't know that there are kids out there that are playing with a hand-me-down bat and not a $300 every season I'm getting a brand new bat kind of thing. Spoiled, rotten kids. So anyway, and then don't get seduced. We always talk about you got to have the most skilled coaches, because all these coaches doing these rec league stuff, they're getting paid to do all this. So they're going to tell you have to go to these clinics, you have to do all this extra stuff. You got to go to this throwing coach, you got to go to this catching coach, you got to go to this hitting coach, and you got to spend so many times in the batting cage. And all this money's just churning under the assumption, the seduction, that if your kid goes down this path, they're going to be in the best position possible. Well, if it's baseball, I'm sorry, there's a kid in Puerto Rico that's hitting things with a dowel rod and a paper cup ball that's going to be playing in the Major League Baseball before your kid is, and all the money that you spend on that. So if you're thinking you're going to get a full ride to some college based on this, you might as well just put that money that you're spending on that into some, mutual fund, and then they'll end up making it. Matt, I know your daughter's in club soccer.
Yeah, club soccer.
I'm not.
It's not travel.
Okay. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
None. I mean, so I get that sole focus, I mean, and I ask that all the time. I'm like, okay, so we're figure skating, we're playing soccer. What is our goal? What is the end state? What do you want to do with it?
Right.
And, so, and our club actually has scholarships. So if you can't afford the dues, which, because the dues are, I think they're $700 a year is what we pay for soccer. What are you?
Welcome back, Troy.
Welcome back.
He's in his own world over there.
Yep.
But the
sound of lack of preparedness.
The club has donations set
up
to where they can fund people that can't afford.
But how do they even know? Like, how are they getting recruited? Like
they recruit from school and stuff like that. But we're at the point now where my daughter, the reason that she's playing club and we're trying to do more is we don't have a high school team.
Yep.
And so so we were trying to figure out what she was going to do. And her coach actually came down this last game and said, hey, why don't you, since you don't have a team and you want to get better and you want to get better at the sport, he goes, why don't you play with the boys in the spring?
Yeah.
I was like,
cool.
What? I was like, that's going to make you way better.
Yeah.
Than playing against girls. I go, those boys are going to be faster. They're going to be stronger.
Right.
They're going to have a different set of skills that they play with. I said, I think that'd be great for you. And so I think she's pretty excited about the opportunity to do that. So
I had something that burned me up the other day. It was a big pro travel ball person actually was like talking down to a parent because their kid was in rec ball. And that
I played
that
rec.
lit me
I
up.
played rec going all the way. I never played club.
The parent was talking down?
Yeah, I was like, oh, your kid's just in rec ball.
Oh, my God.
Well, why does that even matter?
Oh, knock somebody out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I grew up in the country, so there was no clubs or recreation leagues. Like we got together after church with our tube socks tucked into our shorts and played flag football.
We looked into it for Noah last year for club soccer.
Yeah.
Because he's really good. And
he's really good in rec.
He's...
Oh, sucker. Punch him.
Oh, my God.
Fight.
I got it.
He's got potential to play at a higher level. But we looked into it. It's like $1,400.
What? Where?
For a year.
Yeah.
To be on a club team for... I don't even know how long the season is for a year. But...
I don't think it's that much.
Like, no thanks.
And that's just to sign up. Then you have to pay.
Then you got to pay
for the tournaments and
uniform and hotels. And
and they charge you to get into the venue to watch them play.
Well,
man.
not for soccer.
Not for soccer. They do for baseball.
But yeah, get with me afterwards because I don't know what club you're looking at, but it's not.
Well,
you quit trying to recruit him.
We're not looking anymore. We're just going to play rec ball, and he's going to a middle school next year that has a team. So,
but then you've got he's playing soccer, he's playing basketball, he's doing all the stuff. If you sign up for one thing right now, you're pulling him out all the other.
Oh yeah, he's playing everything.
Yeah,
and he loves it.
Yep.
So, I'm cool.
See, but yeah, soccer, the elite, I can't remember what they call it, but you have to actually make the elite team, which I forget what that's called. But the rest of it, I mean, it's, they don't play like right now with the 9th grade girls. My girl's on a team only because they consider her trapped, so she's without a team, and so but next year she won't have one because she'll be too old.
Yeah.
So. And so they don't even have a girls team at that age for the club ball during the springtime. It's only during the fall that they have girls soccer.
Yeah.
So you basically just got that fall season, and then during the off season, you have 2 practices a week, and that's it. And
right.
Even during regular season, you have 2 practices a week. So it's always those 2 practices.
Right.
So
anyway,
but get with me afterwards because it's a lot cheaper than that for sure.
Will do.
Oh, I guess I'm hosting, right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the top 3 things that are destroying our kids that we allow to continue. Apparently, travel ball is one of them.
it may be on my list.
It may be on Chet's list.
Are you driving traffic to your website? Do you have an engaging homepage? Better yet, does your homepage have a video? We recently created a video for a client about his business and the services they provide. Since he placed the video on the homepage of their website, he has had a number of clients specifically say they decided to use his services because of that video. At Trussell Media, we help businesses create engaging videos to host on their websites, email to clients, and use in their social media marketing. Contact us if you're interested in creating a video for your homepage today. TrussellMedia.com. Fill out the form at TrussellMedia.com/contact. Let us help you tell your story through video.
And we're back with the top 3 things destroying our kids that we allowed to continue. We're going to start with Troy because we already know what's on Chet's list.
Number 3, homework. Should not be a thing. They should do their work at school, get it done at school, and have time for their family and extracurricular activities and everything else after school. So stop with the homework.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
I think I have said the exact words that you have said, and they were true when I spoke them with the ages that my kids were. But then now, when my kids are older and in high school, I'm wondering why they don't have any work. So too much when they're young, not enough when they're older.
So when they get older, it'll go away. That's good.
Kinda. Or maybe they're just not doing it. I don't know. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit of both. I mean, because my kids, they got all these projects, and it's like, good night. What are you doing now? And then, of course, they get it backed up, so they're working for, for forever one night. They're trying to cram it all in. I'm like, time management? Why don't we just space that out?
I think that's one of the things we're trying to teach them.
I think that's part of it.
But they shouldn't be teaching a 4th grader that. They should be,
well,
it should be somebody that's a little bit more.
Right.
Where you're old enough to do your work on your own.
I get it.
Well, my wife and my 9-year-old spent all Sunday afternoon writing a book report together and creating a paper sculpture.
Paper mache?
Well, it wasn't paper mache. They used construction paper to make a horse head. He did.
Was it The Godfather?
It was Seabiscuit. Hey, good one though. Hey, death scene in a movie.
Yes.
Hey, horse head in your bed. Yeah. So anyway, no more homework. Number 2, no cell phones before the age of 16.
So the thing that's destroying our kid is cell phones. Yeah.
What's not cell phones, but what's on them? What they can.
Right. But you're saying like no cell phones.
Well, no smartphones. No phones with internet would probably be more.
The things that's destroying is not no phones. It is phones.
No, it's what's on the phone.
Right. But you're not going to understand what I'm saying. It's okay.
No, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Well, no, we're allowing to continue, and you're saying what we're allowing to continue is no cell phones and no homework. No, it's like homework is killing our kids, not no homework.
Oh, I'm just saying it wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Call me out. That's fine.
All right. All right.
Cell phones.
Smartphones. You said 16 years old.
Yeah, before the age of 16. That's
Okay.
our house rule, but.
Now, you know your kids are driving before then.
Right.
So you want them driving without a phone.
Well, they'll have a phone. They'll have a flip phone,
Okay.
but it won't have internet access. They'll have a way to contact us if they need it. But
Okay.
they will not have internet access.
Okay.
Number 1, trans parties and libraries.
Yeah.
Crap's got to stop. All right, that's it.
I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done with you.
Okay. All right.
I'm done with this guy. My cousin Vinny.
That's got to stop.
What?
Drag shows and
for sure.
library anywhere for kids. I don't care where it is. If it's for a kid, it's got to stop.
Got to stop.
Chet, what do you got? It's travel ball.
Travel ball. It's really, I think what that comes down to is you're giving up your authority as a parent immediately. You are allowing your kid to dictate what your family does, and your kid should not be put in that position that young. It's not their role to say, I like sports, so our family is going to be in Kansas City and Dallas and in Denver, 20 weekends a year. Like, you don't put that on a kid. And
But I think not even that, because putting it on the kid, but the parents are making that decision.
No, they're not.
I think the parents, I think a lot of the time the parents are making that decision because they're trying to live vicariously through their kid. They want what's best for the kid.
Yeah,
I want them to go pro, so we're going to do all this, and I'm making that decision. And the kid probably 2 years into it's like, man, screw this.
Well, and so I was talking about this last night at a Bible study. Is Bill and Sandy gave me this advice when they were a Sunday school teacher in our young marrieds class 20 years ago, and said, you married your wife before the kids were in the picture, and your kids are not going to be in the picture but for 18 years each. So never forget that your spouse is the number one thing in your home. Your relationship with God, then your spouse, then your kids. And so I think you and I are saying the same thing here. I'm saying you're giving up your authority.
Oh, yeah.
As the head of household. You and your wife should be running your house. And you're saying what your kid wants is more important than what your family needs. And you're saying they're making a decision to let their kid do whatever they want to do. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
To fulfill some,
It's like Varsity Blues. Man, them boys are having the time of their lives.
Yeah. So,
Come on, Johnny, you can do it.
number 2, public schools are ruining our kids. I'll just go ahead and say it.
Man, I'm with you.
100% our kids are being ruined by public schools. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And we saw it is so plainly during the COVID lockdowns that it wasn't about kids. And we see it now that it's not about kids. It's horrible.
People are leaving them in droves. Had a conversation today about where, with the headmaster of the new school Noah's going to next year. And they just built a whole new big complex to get a certain number of new students in pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade.
Yeah.
It's because people don't want to put their kid in public school anymore.
They shouldn't.
I don't blame them. We've been out of it for years.
My wife and I had a conversation, and if we didn't, and this is all on her, being so involved with the school and The administrator, she subs up there every now and then. She volunteers a lot of stuff. We know the teachers. If we were coming into school right now, if our kids were younger, and we didn't already have that all established, we would seriously be out of it. Like, but since we've got, after, a couple weeks from right now, I'll have one kid left in school. She'll have 3 years left. So, and we know most all of our teachers, we know the path, we know the school, we know the administrators. But if we were just starting fresh, I think we're not going to go this public school route.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in bad shape. Bad shape. So, number 1, screen time. Screen time. Phones, Kindles, video games, you name it. And I'm bad about it. I don't do all the video games and all that kind of stuff, but I'm on my phone too much. And
I would, yeah, I'd have to admit that I am too.
I have a more self-control than any of my kids. And so they're at a bigger disadvantage with being addicted to screens. And we buy it for them, put them in front of it, get them games, buy them controllers. We bring it into our home. Nobody to blame but us.
You're allowing it to continue.
Yep.
Hey, what were your rules on video games with Stone?
What do you mean?
Like when he was in the house, like how long could he play them? Could he play them?
A lot of it varied. If you have all your work done, and by age, so we only had the video control console in the main living area. So
yeah,
we knew what was going on. They weren't leaving us to go do the stuff, like they were there. And I don't know, his senior year, that's like 3 years ago. It was whatever you want to do. And he was playing games with, his cousins in North Carolina, and still does. And with a couple of his friends, like they'd go hang out and eat at McDonald's or something. They each go to their own homes and then log in and play golf together, like on the Xbox or the Oculus thing or whatever that's called. And you could just hear them talking and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, it's cool what they can do now. Right now we have, our oldest that plays is 11, and they all have their own Switch, and they can play for an hour a day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's it. Which has been pretty good rule in place. Nice thing about the Switch is when the hour's up, it turns off. Locks them out.
Oh, that's cool. You can set the timers on.
Yeah, it's all on my phone. It locks them out.
Yeah.
And they bring it back to our room, put it up when it's out. It's nice. They haven't figured out that it resets at midnight. So
they may be listening to this podcast.
Oh, they don't listen. They have no way of listening.
It's outside their rating.
No. I don't know how they.
You got on the internet, the YouTubes.
Well, I got stuff turned off. They can't search for
anything.
Well, they could watch it on YouTube, but right now their YouTube privileges have been revoked because they broke that rule.
Yeah.
So they're only supposed to watch the people that I have said that they could subscribe to. And I found them watching reels last night or shorts.
Pulled it away.
So, yeah.
There's I'll tell you about it later. There's this dude that does this Alaska wilderness stuff, and he brings his kids along with him.
Oh yeah, you've told me about that guy.
He does like 2-hour-long episodes now.
Oh,
so
wow.
you could just like set that up and let it run, and if they're in and out of the room or whatever, they stop watching.
Yeah, I need to get the name of that one again. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You want a good word?
No.
Or I can do my top 3.
Yeah.
Oh, have we not gotten there?
No.
Let's do it. I want to hear them.
No, you don't.
No, I do.
Number 3, college.
Ooh.
Higher education. Because I think for the most part, like our school does a pretty good job. Like our teachers are pretty good. And that's why we moved to where we moved to. But then, you see a lot of these people going to, quote, higher education.
Higher.
That's why I said quote.
Well, didn't they just lowered the SAT scores?
Some places you don't have to take them.
It depends on where you're going.
Well, for Ivy League schools, they like lowered them.
I don't even think they require
Depends
it anymore.
on what race you are.
Wow, they even categorized.
They've been doing
it
this for a
like-
long time.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they got sued for it
I actually just heard about this morning.
because
so.
they actually raised the SAT score for if you're Asian, and then you had everybody else, and then you had a Hispanic and African American category. So
Oh, my
depending on your
gosh.
race, you had a different entry level.
DEI.
Yeah, they got straight up sued for discrimination and lost over that.
Wow, good.
So, and with that, I don't know if you've seen any posts, from Mike Rowe recently,
Dude, I love micro.
but he was talking about the Harvard hosting grad parties based on
Race.
Mm.
And he's like, back in the day that we called that segregation. And so Mike Rowe kind of goes into it. So like they're so woke that they've come full circle and now they're back to racist.
Yeah.
So higher education is not the education that our kids need, and I think we should just stop supporting it altogether. Keep flowing. Let's get some doctors through there that actually know what they're doing and stuff like that. But if you're trying to get a job in sales or something that doesn't require an advanced degree,
Yeah.
don't go. Find a mentor and work your way up, because I don't think I found a job or haven't been offered a job to where it's like, oh, well, you need this and this and this and this. And it's like, well, I don't have any of that stuff, but I can learn,
Yeah.
I
don't know why not. It's you can make more money that way.
and you don't have the debt of loans, but it's higher education.
Thumbs down.
Number 2, acceptance of everybody for anything. It doesn't matter.
So you bring in that into your home.
No.
Help me understand.
Things destroying our kids that we just allow. I thought
That we allow to continue.
Yeah.
we allow as a society
I'm get you. Yeah.
to continue. And that is just acceptance of literally everything. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done. I'm just going to accept you for who you are. I'm not going to try to say, hey, maybe we should not do that, or maybe offer you some advice on how to do something better. No, let's just accept you for who you are, even though it's not right.
Yeah.
Should we love everybody? Absolutely. Do we have to accept their behavior? Absolutely not.
Right.
That's the difference. And I've spoke on that, I don't know how many times, but you just got to kind of delineate the two. And then they've muddied the water so far that they can't do it without it be considered hate speech. Number 1, an online existence.
Yes.
Not just access online, not just
Yeah,
social
that's good.
media, but sign up for this so you can bank. Sign up for this so you can do this, because
Oh, the apps. Oh, get a free Sonic drink if you let the app track your livelihood.
not even just the apps. I'm talking just like I've got an ID Me account that logs me into all of my government websites. So VA health, VA benefits, Social Security. Basically, it's an ID Me profile.
Yeah.
It's an electronic profile that verifies who I am.
You don't even know who you are.
I don't.
How do they know who you are?
They don't. But we are in a generation where if that was taken away, we still have some semblance of being able to survive without a digital life. Our kids are not.
No.
So at any point through the click of a button, their life could just be gone and they would essentially just be dead. And not have access to literally anything that they, their money, cards.
Dude,
well,
we can go down that rabbit hole. There's a reason they want all your money.
that's what I'm saying.
Electronic.
But we're allowing, it's detrimental to our,
Yeah, and we're allowing it.
and we're allowing it to continue. We're not shutting it down. We're diving deeper into it. Like, oh, now we're going to have retinal scans to blah, 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 and fingerprints and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you don't Sorry, government, you don't need all that information from me to access my bank or to access whatever.
Yeah.
Or, you know, to pay for, because a lot of places don't even take cash anymore.
I won't shop there.
So, yeah. So an online existence. Anyway, that's number one.
That's good.
I like it. Troy, you got us a good word?
Yes.
Maybe we need an EMP. You know what I'm saying?
The IEDs one day, EMPs the next.
I'll tell you, the IEDs are coming. Did I tell you guys that? I heard on the radio.
Yeah.
As I was driving, this be a dig hero, and it's like if you see suspicious digging or you know, if you see something strange and somebody's digging and blah blah blah, I'm like, what? What am I listening? It's country music radio, and they're call this number if you see this, and I'm like,
So they're saying people are just digging holes and putting bombs in the ground?
no, Troy, no, they're saying look for suspicious digging. What does that tell you?
Tells
Look
me
for suspicious digging.
people are digging.
They're prepping you for what's coming because we've had an influx of people that do that.
Right.
So now they're telling you as a whole without coming out and blatantly saying, hey, they're putting
This is what you should be looking for.
if you see suspicious diggings, report it because there could be some IEDs in those holes. They don't want to come out and say that. So they're coming out and they're saying, hey, you know, it's like a utility thing. Just, hey, man, be safe. You know, if you see some suspicious digging, let us know.
Yeah.
It's because of an increased opportunity or possibility of IEDs. Guaranteed.
It's crazy.
So watch yourself.
Check it. Check yourself.
All right. So Paul wrote a couple of books to Timothy, and a lot of it is
Chet talked about some of that last week.
giving him advice. So I want to pull from 1 Timothy 5, verse 8. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives and especially for members of his household, he is denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Just pretty harsh words for not being one who takes care of your family. So I thought that tied in good with the top three and even with what was on your mind, Chet, especially as all three of us are husbands and dads. And
Well, not husbands together.
no, we are husbands to our
Separately.
My three
wives.
dads.
We know which one Troy is.
Whatever. So anyway, that good word went right out the window.
Yeah, oh, Matt.
So yeah, provide for your family
In a good way.
in a good way. Don't marry dudes, maybe. I don't know.
That's step number one. Is having a family,
This
I
thing
guess.
went off the rails.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week. Or you'll see us.
We went from top 5 back down to top 30.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.